Are we headed for another dumpster fire? Let's go over the February 2nd, 2021 City Council meeting agenda, and you can decide. Any views or opinions expressed on these videos are my own and do not represent the views or opinions of the City Council or City of Livingston. Unless, of course, I am using direct quotes or video from City Council or other public meetings, then it's pretty obvious whose opinion is whose. Copies of source documentation available upon request. City Council regular meeting agenda, February 2nd, 2021, closed session, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Open session, 7 p.m. You can participate in the meeting by teleconference by calling 605-468-8002, access code number 156811#. The meeting will be streamed on YouTube Live. If you choose to attend the council meeting in person, you will be required to wear a face covering while inside city facilities, and seating is limited. Under closed session, once again, public employee performance evaluation, city manager. And again, labor negotiations, unrepresented city employee, city manager. Awards, presentations, and proclamations, a presentation from the Livingston Community Health, COVID-19 local efforts and resources, followed by Supervisor Rodrigo Espinoza announcements and reports, city staff announcements and reports, city manager announcements and reports, city council members announcements and reports, and mayor's announcements and reports. Then there's citizens' comments, where you normally get 3 minutes to talk about things that are not listed on the agenda. For items which are on the agenda, you get an opportunity to address the City Council as each of those items are brought up for discussion. In other words, if it's written on the agenda, you get an opportunity to talk about it. On the consent agenda, a warrant register, November 17th, 2020 meeting minutes, December 15th, 2020 meeting minutes, and a resolution appointing Trevor T. Taniguchi as city attorney and approving an amendment to the professional services agreement with the law firm of Myers, Nave, Rickback, Silver, and Wilson. Under discussion and potential action items, a resolution authorizing the City of Livingston to submit a funding application to the San Joaquin Valley Air Pollution Control District for 2 new hybrid electric patrol vehicles. A discussion on utility rate study timeline, appointing 2 council members to the tax sharing agreement ad hoc committee, the possibility of reopening the city parks given that the state lifted the stay-home order, and a discussion and direction of pursuing a sister city relationship with Chorincio, Michoacan, Mexico. Wrapping up with council direction on future agenda items and adjournment. About those potential dumpster fires, there's actually a couple of them I spotted on the agenda, but I'm only going to focus on one this time around. What I'm going to focus on is the discussion on utility rate study timeline, and this is from the staff report. Under background, it said on November 17th, 2020, City Council approved continuing with the rate study efforts to evaluate the water, sewer, and sanitation rates. The city completed a rate study report in May 2020. However, the rates proposed were not adopted at the time. Having most of the historical information gathered, the rate study consultant, Hansford Economics, is able to update the projections and provide a new report. In my view, this is a simple recitation of facts and it doesn't really have to do with what I perceive as a possible future dumpster fire. What has me concerned is this part from the staff report where it says public hearing adoption of resolution. Okay, I'm not a lawyer, but I've been city council watching for a long time, and my understanding is that in order to adopt a resolution, you need to have at least 3 out of the 5 city council member votes in favor to adopt a resolution. But you need at least 4 of the 5 votes in favor to adopt an ordinance. And we've been adopting increases in water, garbage, and sewer rates by ordinance ever since everything blew up and went to hell around the time of the recall. And one of the things that set things off was a huge controversy about how many council members does it take to vote yes on new rates? Can you do it by just a resolution with 3 council members voting yes? Or do you need to do it by ordinance with at least 4 council members voting yes? Which ended up as part of the litigation that ended up going to California Appeals Court, which would have settled this question once and for all, along with some others, about how many council votes yes it would take to pass the rates, but that was abandoned as soon as the post-recall city council took office. Now, I remember some of the protests and the Three Stooges protest signs and the protest march down the street that ended up at the City Hall parking lot. And I don't think I'm the only one that remembers that either. I get a really uneasy feeling when I only see a resolution listed on the timeline, because I'm concerned it could potentially light the fuse to another political dumpster fire. But that's just what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments.